Well, hello everyone. I just wanted to do something a little bit out of the usual here, but I'm experimenting with a video recording program today and trying to learn a little bit about it myself, and this will give me a little bit of practice. But I also wanted to get back in touch with everyone there at CAFF, and I want you all to know, first of all, that I'm sorry very sincerely about losing contact with you after we had the November meeting and then last summer's nice hosting of that at the farm with Rich there and everyone. But I do apologize, and I hope you know well enough that I mean that very sincerely to all of you, and that's why I'm doing this kind of a silly kind of a thing. I'm in Parlier, California right now in my university office at the Kearney Ag Center, and it's Saturday afternoon about 2:15. I just want to try this with you, give you an update on a couple of things. I tried to send Rich a note last week and have been out of touch with everyone else, so here goes. I apologize also for that email that I sent out in early January when I must have seemed somewhat troubled and worrisome there. What I was concerned about was the unraveling of this planning toward the network there, and it ended up being salvaged in good ways that I'll tell you about in a second here. But what I did before the January 18th meeting, I went to talk with a couple of the folks at NRCS just to make individually. The day before the meeting, I talked with a couple of people there, and just to iron things out and to make sure that we're really on the same page there. So that was helpful then. All right, on January 18th at the university office in Davis, the following people were present. The Vice President, Glenda Humison, was there. Ed Lewis, the Associate Dean of UC Davis. Karen Burr of the California Association of RCDs. Carlos Suarez of NRCS. Paul Wenger of the Farm Bureau was not there. He flat out forgot about it, I think, that day there. And then there were some other people of each of those groups there, including a couple of people from Extension and myself there from the university, and a couple of other add-on peoples from NRCS. And the goal there was just to lay out the idea, the vision for the Farm Demonstration Network, and it went quite well. There was no reluctance, no hesitation on anyone's part. They were enthusiastic about it. Glenda Humison herself said, well, look, we don't need to belabor this thing. Let's just put our heads together and come up with an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, that will declare a little bit and provide some clarity about what we're all trying to do there. So that was the agreement that came out of that. I'm not at all kidding there. It was a very productive, a very positive get-together. I won't say surprised, but I was very glad to see the level of enthusiasm and energy that came together there. After that group decided that we needed to work on the MOU then. So on March 10th, earlier this month, the CDFA folks, I forgot to mention that Ami Gunasakara was the rep, the science director for CDFA. He was at that January meeting. Then I think it was the CDFA took, Jenny Lester Moffitt took over their role there, and she hosted the meeting for the MOU development on March 10th. That meeting was facilitated by a university A&R person out of Glenda's office, Catherine Montano, who did a very good job, and there were a couple of other fundraising people from A&R who were there. That meeting went well as well. The people laid out what the party's goals were, what we were trying to accomplish, and sort of a process then for expanding things. So again, a very detailed, tedious kind of a meeting that took place. It's not my cup of tea, really, those kind of nuts and bolts things, but that's what we did there. And the goal that came out of there was to push forward and by May 1st to come up with the signed MOU there. That would then put in place all of the follow-up, the work that's going to have to go on to pull the farm demonstration network together throughout the state there. So in a nutshell, I've already talked 4 minutes here, I can see by the timeline here, but that's where things are today. I do apologize sincerely that you all were not involved with that. That's what happened, and it's what I think, Pete, you were the one that said you're not surprised that sometimes that happens with these kind of things. I don't think we're going to be right in having this as an agency kind of an endeavor, and I think everyone should realize that, and I think most people do there. But the better and the quicker this becomes the local grassroots kind of a thing, and there's good value in that I don't think we'll fail to achieve there, but the better. That's what's going to happen there. So I'm going to stop here the recording. This is plenty long enough, I think. Here we'll give it a try, and I might send you a YouTube link here, and you can all laugh at me. I have a messy office, as you can see here, and so you can laugh at me, and I'll be embarrassed here. But I want you to know very much that you're all outstanding people there, and we look forward to working together in the very near future. Okay? All right, I'll stop the recording, and we'll see if any of this worked. Take care, everyone. Thanks.